Right, so right after I was done with the video, I found out that the dude that hit DeVonta Smith only got fined 4,500. 4,500 NFL. Are we fucking serious? $4,500. That's like my broke ass getting a parking ticket and it's only $2. Fuck it, give me the parking ticket. Like, yo, he makes $1 million a year. Yes, I looked it up. He makes $1 million a year, and you give him 4,500. Just the last game against Atlanta, when C.J. Garner Johnson pulled the mouth guard out the dude's mouth, C.J. Garner Johnson was fined 11K for that. Hell, we could go back to 2023 where Jalen Hurts, I think he horse collar tackled or whatever, Dory Jackson, and Dory Jackson didn't get hurt or anything. He was fined 16K. NFL, what is the standards? What are the standards, man? That was a clear dirty hit. And to be fair, I think the refs should get fined a lot of money more than the player. Because first of all, the refs never blew the whistle. To be fair to the guy that got fined 4,500, but like, are we serious? 4,500 to a millionaire? 4,500 to a millionaire. That's nothing. That's nothing. And mind you, the I'm trying to not use the N word, but the whole dude, HOE, the dude that did that to Darius Slay, no news came out about Trevor Pennington. No suspension, no money, but this whole he's I guess he's good. He nothing's gonna happen. I guess he's alright. And but then to insult to injury, you just find this dude 4,500. Like, come on, NFL. We got to find the standards. What are the standards? Is this safety? Are we really hitting? Is this a physical sport? Do you want to ease up on CTE? What are we doing? There's no set prices. There's no set standards. Like, what is going on? Y'all just suspended Derwin James, who played for the Chargers, a whole game, probably without pay. But this dude gonna make that plus more once he play his next game. That 4,500 ain't shit. Y'all was just better off saying, you know what, we ain't gonna find him. It was within the combine or the play or whatever. But the ref deserved money out his pocket and him. I thought he was gonna at least get 15. I thought he was gonna at least get 15K. Even though 15K is like, all right, that's a little steep. But 4,500, they did DeVonta Smith wrong. This DeVonta Smith got knocked out. Blindside hit to the helmet. 4,500. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and see ya. This is Eagle Owl, and today I'll be talking about Jalen Hurts will be tested. Also, we got to talk about Sidney Brown. Sidney Brown was spotted at practice, and it's going to be fun how the Eagles will use him after the break. And lastly, we're going to talk about Jalen Carter being compared to a legend, but let's get straight into it. All right, man, before we get straight into it, the injury report came out, and obviously A.J. Brown was on there. Lane Johnson, DeVonta Smith were all out. Mekhi Becton finger was limited. Landon Dickerson wrist limited. And Darius Slay knee, but he was a full participant. Now, we all expected this with A.J. Brown and DeVonta Smith. Mekhi Becton spoke to the media. He said he'd be good to go. I did see a picture of him with like a cast on his hand. I think he like fractured one of his fingers or whatever. But he said he'll be good to go. Honestly, I don't think there's no reason to rush him back. I honestly like the Sting and the Fred Johnson combo. If he had to sit out basically another 2 weeks, if he had to sit out this game, then the bye week. So I won't be mad if he play or don't play. I think we'll do just fine, to be honest. But hey, if he could come back, come back. And another guy who wasn't on the report, but we know he had a hand problem, was Isaiah Rodgers. Isaiah Rodgers, he was spotted, and he had this like big pad on his hand. And honestly, I think he's more hurt than was being led on. I honestly do. I heard Vic Fangio say some junk like, "Oh, Keely Ringo, it was more in the moment type junk." But when you think about it, Isaiah Rodgers is probably one of the best return men on our team. He's not returning punts. He's not returning kickoff returns. They not put him out on the field. But I think in emergency reasons, say like if Slay or Keely Ringo would happen to go down, I think he's good enough to play. But I think that hand is more sore. He's going through more rehab than was being led on. That's just a suspicion of mine. Haven't talked to anybody, haven't heard anything, but that's just my suspicion. I think Isaiah Rodgers is more hurt than was being led on. So we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, but honestly, I think he's more hurt because I'm like, yo, he's your third best corner on the team. He doesn't see the field at all. Like, not even a kick, again, kick returner, punt returner. But I seen that picture. I'm like, oh, yeah, he's more hurt because they probably don't even trust him to catch the ball. He had surgery, what, a month ago? So, hey, again, maybe I am totally wrong on this one, but some tells me I'm right. All right, so let's talk about Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts' real test, his biggest op. I think this is his biggest op is Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles versus Jalen Hurts. When the narrative came out that Jalen Hurts can't read or whatever, that came from Todd Bowles and the Buccaneers or whatever. Jalen Hurts doesn't have the best record against the Buccaneers. He's like 1-3. He's been sacked at least twice each and every time we played them. The completion percentage is not good. Him going against the blitz against them is not good at all. So this is Jalen Hurts boogeyman. Todd Bowles is Jalen Hurts boogeyman. For some reason, Todd Bowles just have Jalen Hurts number. Now, we do play Todd Bowles with a better offensive coordinator. When Todd Bowles played, ironically, when he played the Philadelphia Eagles, it was more of Jalen Hurts' first year starting, bad play calling, and he played us last year twice. And that's when Jalen Hurts got his first one against Todd Bowles. But let's be honest, the play calling wasn't good going into the playoffs. We know we was figured out, and he made Jalen Hurts look bad again. So I want to see this matchup, and this is going to be the real test because Jalen Hurts is doing really, really good against the blitz, and I think Todd Bowles is going to test that. Like, yo, do this dude got it? Do Jalen Hurts got it against the blitz? They're going to test, and we don't got our guys. Like, we don't have AJ Brown, you don't have DeVonta Smith, so Jalen Hurts win this game. This will be a huge win, bigger than the win against the Saints, because you have nobody, and then you going up against one of the best defensive coordinators in the game. So let's see how he handle it. And to me, this is a win-win situation for Jalen Hurts, or it can be a win-win situation. Meaning, if we lose and fall short or whatever, you could look at it like, yeah, we really didn't have weapons. It is what it is, but we seen what Jalen Hurts did against this, did against that, and if he win, you go into the bye with a big win with an injured team. They'll be coming back after the bye, and that momentum could carry over. So even if you lose, it sounds crazy. I hate talking like this, but it is what it is. Even if you lose, you got to lose gracefully. Like, you don't want to get destroyed. Like, oh man, we was terrible. Like, you want to show some stuff. Like, you got it. It's more promise to the team. Jalen Hurts showing why he's worth the money. But again, if you win, if you beat Todd Bowles without your weapons, I'm telling you, that means this team is dangerous. Because we don't have Johnny Wilson, Jahad Dotson. We'll probably bring up John Ross and Paris Campbell. Like, those will be your guys. I think we should be good enough. We should be good enough to beat them. The reason why, because I think our defense against Baker Mayfield, we could shut them down. We could shut them down. Hopefully, we could get some points. Quinion, you got to catch a pick six. You had a lot of opportunities. We need you to catch. If it's a game, we need you to catch one. This is the game. We need points any way, form, or fashion, man. Any way, form, or fashion. So, yeah, this again a huge test for Jalen Hurts. All right, so let's talk about the next topic. Sidney Brown. Sidney Brown was spotted at practice. Obviously, he can't play. He got to wait till the bye. But do you see like the stance? It looked like he's going to be like more of a blitzer on our team. And this is really good because we know Sidney Brown brings that energy. Sidney Brown's like CJ Garner Johnson. Those two on the field, when we line up in those like three safety sets or whatever, and you have Sidney Brown blitzing, man, I'm telling you, we haven't. It's crazy because we haven't seen the best of the secondary just yet. Just yet, man. So I like how, based on this, I like how they possibly going to use Sidney Brown. So I don't think Sidney Brown's just going to bench ride, and Reed Blankenship been playing at a high level. We know CJ Gardner Johnson is the high paid guy, so he's going to stay on the field. But when Sidney Brown time come where he rotate in, I think he's going to be a disruptor, especially against the run and when it's time for him to blitz. So the secondary been so good, we forgetting about Sidney Brown. But when Sidney Brown come back, he definitely add depth and more power to the DBs. I know Howie Roseman is taking a lot of criticism right now for whatever reason. You know, sometimes your trades are hit or miss, but man, the secondary is re-ramped. It's re-ramped. It looked a lot better. A lot better. He put a lot of assets towards that secondary and it's paying off. Say what you want about this guy, that guy. That secondary is doing one hell of a job. And again, I can't wait for Sidney Brown to come back. All right, so let's talk about Jalen Carter, man. Jalen Carter doing historic things, doing great things. Gerald McCoy, who is like a guy that keep it real, he had to keep it real about Jalen Carter. He like, yo, Jalen Carter, one of those ones, and let me pull up the tweet right here. He said, Philly have one on their hands. Jalen Carter, stay focused, young man. You are one of those breaking down the tape. Mind you, Gerald McCoy is a Buccaneer, so that's why he's probably looking at the Eagles tape. He probably see like Jalen Carter just jumping through the tape basically. It's like, man, he's probably telling the Bucks like, yo, y'all gotta watch him. Y'all better watch him or he can wreck this game by himself. So getting praise like that, and then let's listen to what Baldy had to say about Jalen Carter.
Is there a guy that he reminds you of when he's at his best, like we saw on Sunday?
He probably has some Jerome Brown too, going way back. Jerome Brown was a dominant player. I don't know that we've seen a guy have that type of power. Like, you just can't knock him off his feet. But his combination, John, of power and skill.
So it's interesting because hearing some people with the Eagles, they said, you kind of got to fire them up. And then Vic Fangio today, interestingly, said that it's the practice habits that we have to focus on and pinpoint.
Whatever reason, this week the fire was lit. He took it out on Cesar Ruiz. I mean, Vic's not wrong. Vic's coached a lot of great players in his league. Khalil Mack, Von Miller. I mean, coached a lot of great players. Hall of Fame players. That's what Hall of Fame players do. They show up every week and they do that. And that's really what Jalen has to decide. It's up to him. He has all the ability to do it.
That's a huge name, man. Jerome Brown, that's a huge name for Jalen Carter to be compared to. So all Jalen Carter got to do is stay focused. He just got to stay motivated, stay in shape, and just keep thriving and thriving and thriving because he's showing signs. Now, he's not Aaron Donald, but he's showing signs he's the next generational talent. Because you have those dudes that come in that's just that dude. It just happens for some reason. Like you have, like at one point, Ndamukong Suh just dominate. Then you have, like, of course, Aaron Donald, and now it's like a new generation is about to start, and it seems like Jalen Carter is going to be the face of that new generation of defensive tackle. So all Jalen Carter got to do is just keep up the good work and just keep balling, man. Definitely keep balling. But that's all I got for you guys today. And hey, man, what do you think? How do you feel about the news today? How do you feel about the injury report? And am I reaching on the Isaiah Rodgers thing? I think he's more hurt than what's being led on. Also, Jalen Hurts is real test. Jalen Carter, Sidney Brown. But this is Eagle Owl, man. I'm up.